Hello, my friend. Thank you for showing interest in this presentation called The Art of Doing Business. Today I am going to share some really powerful concepts with you. These concepts are very simple, very easy to understand, very easy to implement, but they are missing from the life of many entrepreneurs. Most people, they are doing business, but they still don't understand many of these concepts that I'm going to share with you today. So please sit back and pay full attention to what I'm going to say. I encourage you to allow me the next 10-15 minutes to just listen to what I have to share with you. I value all your expertise, all your knowledge so far that you have, but today I need your full attention to understand what I have to share with you. So just allow these next few minutes for me to share these concepts with you. I like this statement from Alvin Toffler, who says the illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Notice the words unlearn and relearn. This is exactly what I want you to do today. When you are listening and watching this presentation, please focus on unlearning and relearning part, because that is the critical part in this presentation. Okay, so let's begin. This is about business. So we are learning the art of doing business. So let's all be on the same page. What is business? This is your customer or a potential customer, and they are suffering with some kind of problem in their life. They lack something, and what they want to do is they want to become this. They are uncomfortable, they are sad, they are upset, and they want to be happy. This is what they want. Shifting that emotional state from this to that, from here to here, is what is called business. When you do that, that is what the person will consider as value. This is value for them, shifting from this emotional state to that emotional state. And for that value, they pay you money. This whole exercise is what is called business. Now, this is the concept I shared with you. This is what a business is. But what is the purpose of doing business? Many people think the purpose of doing business is to earn money. My thought on that part is that money is non-negotiable. Money has to be there. It is the oxygen for business. So, for example, we as human beings, our purpose of living is not to breathe oxygen. We have to breathe oxygen. But now when we are breathing oxygen, now what do we need to do? After that, what is our purpose? So assume that whatever you are doing, you are making money. Because if you are not making money, then it's not business, it's a hobby. So I'm not talking about hobby, I'm talking about business. So business means you are making money. That is as simple as that. So that we consider as non-negotiable. Now, if money is not the primary objective for which you are doing business, money will come, then what? Now the business is making money. You can go in any kind of business and make money. But what exactly is the purpose? So we consider that the purpose of any business is to create a valuable resource. So I talked about this concept of shifting the emotional state of your customer from being uncomfortable to being comfortable, from being sad to being happy, and for that they pay you money. Now in order to do that, you need to give them something, some product or service that you need to come up with, and that is the purpose of your business, is to continue to create that product or that service which your customers will consider as a valuable resource. It is a resource for them, which will help them to shift from this state to that state. And your objective as a business owner is to continue to come up with these valuable resources. That is the purpose of business. What is the goal of an entrepreneur? I'm sure you might have come across this model before. This is a model created by Robert Kiyosaki. I particularly like this one because it helps me to explain the thought process behind the art of doing business. The left side two quadrants are what we call active income, and the right side two quadrants is what we call passive income. Active income simply means an income that you have to earn by putting in time, and passive income is what you earn by not putting in time. So, for example, if you're working for someone, you have a job, you put time and you get money, you get salary. You might become a self-employed where you start your own business and you do the job. Now you might be doing something which is very niche, very expert kind of a work, and for that the time that you spend, you get a little bit more money as compared to when you go and work for someone. So you might do some specialized work, and for that you get money, but you have to spend the time in order to earn that money. 95% of businesses fall under this category. Small and medium-sized businesses fall under this category. A business owner, on the other hand, is someone who leverages people to earn money. They don't leverage time. They don't spend their own time to earn money. They leverage people and systems to earn money, and that is how they are able to earn more money as compared to self-employed. And the last one is an investor who basically uses money to make more money. They invest and then they earn more. So this is a simple model of what active and passive income looks like. Now what happens is many people start from here as an employee and they shift from here to here. They become self-employed. So let's say you're working for someone, you have really good, let's say you are a very good accountant. And you work for someone and you realize, what is the point? I am putting so much hard work and so much time into working for someone for peanuts, and I might actually start my own accounting agency and do the work. So you go and you start your own accounting agency and you start working as an accountant for yourself. So then you become a self-employed, because now you're not working for someone. You're working for yourself, but you're still working as in a job. This job you own. No one can fire you from this job. That is sure, because you own this job. At the same time, you cannot also resign from this job. If you don't like it, you can't quit because it's your own business. That's not the case if you're working for someone. If you don't like that job, you can always go and change the job and work somewhere else. But in here, you stuck. So the goal of an entrepreneur is not to move from here to here, but rather to move to here. Actually create the business into a passive income source. This is the thought process that I want you to get really comfortable with, that do not shift from here to here, shift from here to there directly. And if you are currently working somewhere and thinking of launching a business, then you don't have to come down here first and then go there. You can go there directly. And if you already started the business, you are in this category where you might already have staff, and still you find yourself working long hours, 15, 16, even 20 hours. I know people who have 40, 50 staff and still work 18 to 20 hours a day in many cases. So the more staff they have, the more stuck they feel. They actually are not business owners. They are owned by business. They are business owned. Their life is owned by the business. Their health is owned by the business. Their relationships owned by the business. They can't take holidays and leave their business on someone and enjoy their life. It's totally, they are trapped in that business. So this is the definition of what a self-employed person will look like. And my objective through this presentation, which is Art of Doing Business, is to showcase to you that you don't have to be here. You should actually be here. This is the business owner quadrant, and I will give you the roadmap and the strategy of how to move from here to here or from here to there. So you just stick around with me on this presentation and you will find out. But before we move ahead, what I want you to do is get really comfortable with this thought that the goal of an entrepreneur is to convert the business into a passive income source. Obviously, before something becomes passive, it is active. You have to work in it to make it passive. But we are clear that we will not continue to work forever in it. Our goal is to make it passive. So the goal is to convert the business into a passive income source. Now we will start to look into how to do this. So moving forward, I assume that I have your acknowledgement that this is a good goal for an entrepreneur to have, to convert their business into a passive income source. And now we will look into how. A very important part before you jump into implementation or learn how to do something is first how to think. Thinking is very important. We all learn how to do things. We learn various communication techniques and this and that. People teach us how to read, how to write, how to speak, how to walk, how to behave and all that. But nobody teaches us how to think. Thinking is the most important part, and I want you to pay good attention to what I'm going to say now, because this part is very critical. You might understand that you have to convert your business into a passive income source, but there is a trap. Most of the business owners, most of the entrepreneurs fall in that trap and don't even realize it. So pay good attention to what I'm going to say now here. As an entrepreneur, you have two roles. One is you are a business owner and you are also an employee. So before something becomes passive, you have to work actively. You have to work as an employee in that business. So this is a fact. You know, we've all done that. We've all come from the same place. So we are a business owner and we are employee. We have these two roles as an entrepreneur. Now, as a business owner, what is my one purpose? Among so many things that I do as a business owner, if I have to consolidate, condense all my activities, all my goals into one, then what will that be? What will that be is to convert my business into a passive income source. That is my one and only purpose. Every activity I am doing, everything that I'm doing in business must lead to this goal, that the business is converting into passive income source. That we are clear. Now, as an employee, what is my purpose? Now here is a trap where most of the people fall. What happens is I start my business as a self-employed. I am very skilled into doing something, and then I think that I need to go and get more certifications, more qualifications. I need to acquire more knowledge so I can do my work even better. As an employee, I can deliver the wow factor to my customers. I need to deliver more and more good work, and which is correct, which is totally correct. You have to deliver the wow factor. But the thing is that if you want to make it passive income source, and if you want to go and acquire more and more knowledge and more skills to deliver that particular job, then you are moving totally away from your goal of a business owner. A business owner wants to make the business passive, but an employee is going deeper and deeper into it. The business owner wants to come out of it. The employee is going deeper and deeper into it by getting more and more skills and knowledge. This is the trap that most entrepreneurs fall in. They want to free themselves from the business. This is the want that they have. This is a desire that they have. But what they are actually doing is going deeper and deeper into the business. So today, from this presentation, I want you to see that gap, and make a decision today that as an employee, my purpose is to make myself redundant. I have to do my succession planning. I don't want to get deeper and deeper into the delivery part of my business. I want to first come out of it. I want to make myself redundant. I want to get this business to the point where I can make myself redundant. I can get someone to replace me in this business. That should be the goal of the employee. So ultimately, you should not be an employee in that business. You should only be business owner. And as a business owner, your job is mainly to direct how the business should run, should create the goals and strategies for the business, and not really focus too much on the delivery side of things. That is the thinking part. That is how you think. Now let's go to how to implement this. We now fully understand the goal of an entrepreneur, and we understand the thought process that I need to acquire to get to that one. Because until I have that thought process, everything I'm going to talk about is a total waste. Because if you are not going to take this decision that you have to make yourself redundant, then everything I'm going to talk about is not going to make any sense. You will stay as a self-employed. You will not be a business owner in true business sense. Technically, yes, you may be owning a business because you have created, registered an entity, so the government tells you that you are a business owner. That's correct. That's all good. I'm saying that from the spirit of entrepreneurship, you're not a business owner. You are basically just own a job that no one can fire and you can't resign from it. That's as far as you will be able to go. Considering that you agree with me that you have to work towards making yourself redundant, and now we will look at exactly what do we need to do that. So here is the 3 stages that we have designed. Any business goes through these stages, 3 stages. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of business you are in, industry, business type, sector, none of that matters. This is basic. This is every business goes through these 3 stages. The first is the seed stage, startup stage, and then the scale stage. Seed stage is basically when you are thinking about the concept and you are working on launching it. So everything that you do before launching the business is the seed stage. So here is a roadmap and milestones of seed stage. Once again, it's not industry specific. It's nothing to do with what kind of business you are in. Every business has to go through these milestones, have to achieve them. The first and foremost thing is viability test. Before you even launch the business, the first thing that you have to do is, would anyone want to buy my product or service? That shift I talked about, that your basic, the fundamental part of doing business is to shift the emotional state of your target audience, of your customers. You need to first validate that, is that need exist? Is there anyone who would want to shift their emotional state from this to that? And if there are people, would they pay me money for that? So that's the viability test you have to do. You don't need a product and service ready for that. What you need to do is you need to be very clear what you are going to give in that product or service. So as an example, I tell you that I created a training program about 4 years ago, and that training program was to help someone who is in job to thrive in job. So most of the time you see that the education system teaches us how to get a job. They gear us up of how we can get a good job. But once we are in the job, many people struggle to maintain that job, to keep that job. So that training program was about how I keep that job, how I flourish in that job, how I thrive in that job. That was the training program. It was a 90-day training program. When I acquired my first customer, I did not have the training program created at all. Nothing was written. All I had was a 4-page PDF document which described what I'm going to give. So it was a promise that I am going to do this. And here is the PDF document that describes you, my target audience, my customer. Currently, you face this challenge and you want to address these challenges and achieve this result. And how I'm going to do this is by giving you a training program over next 13 weeks. Every week I'm going to do this, and I created a structure and I showed it to my first client and he signed up. He didn't know that I didn't have anything ready in the backend. He didn't need to know. All he needed was every week when we are doing the training, I was ready with the content. It was my job to make sure that I have the content to give it to him. And we started. So while I was delivering that program, I was also creating my product at the same time. It did not impact the delivery at all. Week to week, I was creating the content and I was giving him. I stick to my promise of what I said in those 4 pages in the PDF document. This is what I'm going to deliver. And he said yes. So viability test was complete, that there is a need, people will sign up and they will pay for it. So all you need is a good spec, something that describes what exactly you are promising to achieve for your customer. How you are going to achieve, not important at this stage. It's not important. People will understand that, okay, you will give them something to do that. But what they need to first say yes to is that, yes, I need something like that. That is the viability test that you have to focus on. And that is the first thing that must be done. Before you get into product development, before you get into business plan, business strategy, anything, none of that matters. First thing matters is someone saying, yes, I need this. Then only all the other steps make sense. So assuming you've done that, the next step comes is the business strategy. So you now know that there is someone who's going to buy, and you assume you probably talk to a few more people and they say, yep, that's a good one. When you're ready, come talk to me, I will buy this from you. So another good thing is that you have lined up some potential customers in this exercise as well. So you know that there are people who are ready. So you pre-booked some customers. iPhone does that. All the time they launch, they tell you 6 months in advance, iPhone this is coming and all that. All they show you is an image of iPhone, the features of what it is. Who knows? There is no iPhone. They still don't have enough iPhones created. So they see how many people are responding and all that, and then they place the order and make the iPhones. So, but they start talking about it even 4, 5, 6 months in advance. So it's validating viability test of that product, that is there anyone who's even going to buy this. So companies are doing this for a very, very long time. Then the business strategy comes. What is the approach? How we are going to acquire the market? What are the ways? What are some of the methods that we can use to acquire market? So after the approach is clear, the next step comes down is making a plan. So approach is a method, and then how you're going to implement that. So then you create a plan out of that one, is what you're going to do, exactly how you're going to acquire that market. And another part of that plan is breaking that plan down and only work on the next 90 days. So your plan could be 1 year, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. That's all good. But don't waste too much time into detailing the whole 1 or 5-year plan. Just break down and figure out what is it that you need to achieve in the first 90 days, and only detail the action plan of that 90 days. Focus on just 90 days only. And once you have that action plan ready, you launch the business. And that's when we consider, according to our framework, we consider your seed stage is finished. You are now ready to rock the world. Business is launched. You are officially into startup stage. So what's the milestones that we have in the startup stage? First and foremost thing, before you conquer the world, you acquire 100,000, 1 crore customers or whatever, 10 crore revenue, whatever targets you might have. The first thing is you still need the first paying client. So that's the first milestone, is actually getting that first person to pay you money for that product and service that you've got. So if you're new in business and you've just launched the business, we highly recommend that the first 90-day action plan that you're creating is for this goal. Make it about this goal. In the first 90 days, acquire your first paying client. And if you're already in business and been doing the business for a long time, and now you are watching this presentation and you agree with this approach, then obviously you already got your first paying client. This milestone is achieved by you. A number of businesses still have not reached a break-even point. So we recommend to those people who are in business to make their 90-day action plan about reaching that break-even point. Now, there is something that you need to understand about the break-even is, in this break-even, we have considered all kinds of salaries, everything. So even if you are, let's say, if you got your own premises, you got your own office or your own shop, and you paid money for that shop, then we even consider that you charge interest on that money. And even consider EMIs for it. So your money is not free money. It's not that you had 2 CR in your pocket and you went and bought this shop or bought that office and all that, and that money is free. No, if you get that 2 CR from someone on loan, they will charge you heavy interest, and you have to pay EMI and return that money as well. So when we are calculating break-even point, we are calculating all costs of money, finance, utilities, distribution, salaries. Everything is considered in this break-even point, and that is the true break-even point that we reach. That every month you earn enough money so you can pay all those costs, and then, let's say, ideally speaking, nothing is left. The account is all clear, but everyone is getting their salary, including you as an employee. Currently, you are working as an employee, but you are working your way to make yourself redundant. So this is the roadmap to make yourself redundant, and I will show you when you will become redundant here. So break-even point is when you are making enough money that you can pay yourself, everybody else in your business, pay any finance cost, all the cost, everything is paid. This is the break-even point is reached. The next is sustainable surplus generated. Sustainable surplus means once you have reached that break-even point, up till the point you reach that, you will be generating some debt in your business. So let's say it takes you 6 months to reach break-even point from today. So 6th month is when you will break even, which means all the other 5 months so far you will be in loss, you will be in negative. So you'll be accumulating that negative. But 6th month onward, now you are break even. So 7th month also it's break even, 8th month also it's break even. So from this point onwards, it's break even. So all the debt that you have accumulated in those 5 months so far, that needs to be cleared as well. So once you have reached this point and you hold that line for a few months, you test it that it's not just one-off goal. 2-3 months you see that, okay, I'm now achieving my break-even point. From that, you add on, you do a little bit more extra business. So that extra money that you are now earning after the break-even is reached is what we call surplus. It's that part of the profit. It's the bottom line of the bottom line. Is that what we are interested in? So profit is profit. Profit is after covering the cost of that delivery, but then the profit also needs to cover the cost of the fixed cost, the salaries and all that. What we are more interested in what is left after all that. That is what is called surplus. Once that extra cream is coming on top, that will start to pay off the debt that you have accumulated here. And then over time, you will reach a point where all that debt is clear, and you got that extra cream now that is coming. Now that extra surplus, which was before funding the gap, before funding the negative debt, is not required anymore. So now it is surplus. This is the point where now you can come out of business, because your salary is already covered, which means your business can afford someone else who can work in your place. You can replace yourself, hire another person, pay them that money that you were earning before, and now the surplus that this business is generating is your passive income. This is the time now when your business is running without you. You got all aspects of the business covered, someone is taking care of it, and the little bit extra money that is getting generated is your passive income. That is the money that you should keep an eye on, and this is the time when you can plan to come out of the business, and that is the only time when you are now ready to talk about scaling and investment. This will become a very good investment opportunity for any investor who can see that this is a cash flow positive business. It doesn't matter what business you are doing, doesn't matter what industry you are in, what they see is that this is a cash flow positive. This business is generating surplus. So any investor would become very happy and keen to look into your business. Very healthy proposition in a business to reach that stage. You may not be making a lot of surplus. That does not matter. What matters is that even a very small amount of money is coming out of this business without you in there, which is a very, very healthy situation in a business. And that is the art of doing business. Now, before you implement this strategy, the things that we recommend is always do a gap analysis. So consider where you are and where you want to be. Obviously, where you want to be is those milestones that I have just shared. So either you are going to acquire your first paying customer. If you don't know how to acquire, where you are right now is you don't know much about marketing, you don't know how to acquire customer, you don't know how to create your marketing funnels, your models and all that. So then that's the gap that you have, and you need to acquire skills in order to acquire your first paying customer. Let's say you want to reach break-even point, and for that you need to do more marketing and acquire more customers. And currently, all the tools and techniques that you know about it are not enough. So again, the gap is to learn more about how to acquire new market, how to get into new customers, and reach that break-even point or reach that sustainable surplus stage. So whatever your goal is, wherever you need to be, just do a gap analysis of it and say what I'm lacking. Most of the time it's doing better marketing, doing connecting with the right kind of customers. Now, one of the things that we have observed in businesses is that most businesses acquire only 4% conversion rate. This is the global standard, that only 4 out of 100 inquiries that you get convert into paying customers. Now in India, I've been told that these numbers are even worse than that. It's around 1.5%, and that is considered really good. So some of the marketing experts have told me that 1.5 conversion rate is considered an extremely good from the marketing and advertising point of view. So 100 people or 200 people basically look at your value proposition, and then only 3 go ahead and buy it, and that is considered really good from marketing point of view. So imagine how much wastage is there. Imagine how many people are showing interest and how many are turning away. So 96 people are currently turning away from your business, and you need to get good at that. You need to get good at closing those gaps. Imagine you have a bucket which has 96 holes in it, and you're trying to fill a tank of water with it. and you're getting frustrated because all the water is leaking out, and you're getting frustrated that this tank is not filling up. Only if I can get more buckets, only if someone can give me more money, so I can advertise more, or I can invest more. No, that is not the answer, because what will more money do? Or with more money, you are only going to buy more buckets with more 96 holes. You don't even know that your buckets have 96 holes right now. So the first thing that you need to do is plug those holes, reduce them. It is very easy to bring your conversion rate to 10%, to 15%, to 20%. Many of the businesses that we work with have even achieved a 30 to 40% conversion rate. In many of our activities, we are achieving up to 80% conversion rate. So it is possible. It's just that you need to know that these gaps exist and you need to fill. Not everything is about acquiring more money and paying money and doing more advertising. If your advertising is not working, if 3 out of 200 people are responding, tomorrow if you're going to go and do more advertising and attract 1000 people, still only 15 will convert, because that is your conversion rate at the end of the day, 1.5%. So doesn't matter how much more money you throw at this problem, it is not going to improve the conversion rate. So conversion rate is something you have to improve yourself, then throw money at this problem, not the other way around. We have two ways by which we can help to bridge this gap. If you're willing to consider it, if you're already in business, then one of the things that we have created is called a business health check. So we've created a questionnaire in which we investigate your existing business in 6 core areas. So this questionnaire is designed in such a way that will highlight which of these 6 core areas are currently draining your conversion rate, where the conversion rate is bad, where you need to focus, where are the holes. So that health check will give you an indication of where those holes are and what do you need to do to plug them. That's for the existing businesses. And someone who is who's wanting to start or is at startup level, or even if someone who is already in business and now want to learn new techniques to acquire customers, to reach your target audience and do business actually without advertising. We are currently doing a lot of our businesses without advertising. So yes, advertising will be required at some stage. I'm not denying that you can do business without advertising at all, but I'm saying that currently you are wasting a lot of money and resources on advertising. Once you learn the correct way of approaching your target audience, what to say, why to say, when to say, how to say something to them, once you learn all the tools and techniques of doing that, your advertising budget will return much better return. The same amount of money you are putting on advertising right now, you can put that later on and it will give you much better result. And for that we have a program called Business Inception Camp. So that camp is in fact we designed that camp for startups and people who want to go in business. We've done 8 camps so far, and more than 80% of the participants in that camp are people who already have business. So very few startups or early stage entrepreneurs have yet attended Business Inception Camp. Most of the time it is people who are already in business. So don't think that Business Inception Camp means it is something only for people who have yet to start business. The name is called Business Inception. Sometimes people think it's not an inception, I'm already in business. Inception means to start, and they think, oh, well, I'm already in business, so I don't need to join Business Inception Camp. And to them, my answer is, be calling this business inception, because right now what you truly are is actually self-employed, not business owners. That is the real rebirth of your business. That camp is the rebirth of your business. Our objective is to move you from self-employment to business. Even if you have staff, even if you have many people helping you, but if you are currently doing your work and if your business cannot survive without you being in there, then you are self-employed. This is the simple criteria by which you can measure whether you are a business owner or whether you are a self-employed. If you can't leave your work, if the business cannot survive without you giving them directions and guidance, if people can't function without you being in there, if your customers are lost, if your employees are lost, if things are not happening, you have to go in that business to get the ball rolling, then you are self-employed. You're not business owner. And Business Inception Camp is the way forward for that. So these are the two ways by which I would recommend at this stage. Please consider them if you are in business health check, or if you are not in business yet, or even if you are in business, then Business Inception Camp is the other way by which we can help you bridge these gaps and convert your business into true passive income source. My name is Sachin Sharma. Our job is to convert businesses into passive income sources. This is my contact details. If you are interested to know more about Business Health Check, which we also call BHC, or BIC, which is Business Inception Camp, then please note down my contact details here. As my phone numbers. I live in Sydney, Australia. These numbers are local Sydney, Australia numbers, but my mobile number is available on WhatsApp as well. My mobile number is +61 403 131 546. My email address is sachin@sachin-sharma.com. I'll be very glad to hear from you, and if there is anything that I could do to help you achieve your business goals, help you convert your business into passive income source, help you flourish in your business, then that is exactly what my objective and my mission in life is. So please feel free to give me a chance to have a chat, and good luck. Thank you for listening.